wonder if anybody in your life, you're like, something has to break. Something has to move. God, I've been waiting. I've been praying. I've been fasting. I've been faithful. And something has to move. See, when you get desperate enough, when things get tough enough, when it get bad just enough, when that relationship is just bad enough, when you tired of that dude just enough, when your money is just low enough, you're like, something has to happen. See, I wanted to start off with that song because as we close out this series, Dat Faith Tho, in week 17, I realized something. It's easy to scream about faith, preach about faith, go through all these cute stories, and leave with no faith. Leave right back into your life, nothing broken, nothing changed. See, I'm a practical teacher. I like to just make it real. I don't want a faith that when I believe in a God, nothing happens. If they say he's alive, I want to experience a alive God. I don't want no dead book or no dead God talking to me about dead stories. I want to experience a alive, living God in the land of the living. I want to experience a kingdom on earth that he promised me. So sometimes you get desperate and you say something needs to change. And so when I had this prayer before God, he gave me some answers. See, I've been having this conversation with him for weeks and months now, and he keeps giving me answers. See, when it gets bad enough, though, and the tears start to flow for no reason, when you're sitting there and you're crying, you don't know why because it's that bad, see, then you get real with God. Then you stop being cute. Like, Lord, I need you. I trust you. You start saying, hey, bro, what's up? You start talking with him. That's what he be waiting for sometimes. Like, yeah, let's get real now. I'm a real guy. He be waiting for us to quit the cute stuff. We're in week 17 of a series we calling what? Dat Faith Tho. And y'all know it's been a long time. But see, we close out. This was supposed to be last week, but I'm going to do one more. I'm going to close out the year with one more. But today we're going to talk about something called mobile faith. Faith that moves. See, the purpose of this one is to encourage the believer, bust a move. See, we could talk about this cute stuff all day. We could have this little cute kind of guy, or we can make a move in faith. See, I'm reminded of the children of Israel when the guy showed up to Joshua and said, hey, Moses dead. Get up and go across this Jordan. He said, all right, get the people ready. So what happens as soon as they get across this Jordan, they run into the fact that, okay, you promised us this land, but hey, it's people here. It's people inhabiting the land. So he gives them a plan. See, I love this part because he says Joshua was out spying, looking at the land, like, putting together his plan. Don't we do that? We start putting together our strategy for looking at our bills like, okay, if I do this, I'll save this much. I may get a part-time job. You know what I'm saying? Dang. We start putting up our plan. And he says, a man appeared with a sword. So Joshua said, the Bible said he ran up to dude like, who are you and what side you on? You on the Lord's side or mine? Because Josh ain't no dummy. He like, bro, dude looking mighty. So let me go realize, before I even go into this may change my strategy based on whose side dude on. He says, I'm not your friend, I'm not their friend. I'm commander of the Lord's army. See, what he didn't see right there, has God had already showed up. As he's peeping up how he's going to take care of it, God had already sent his angel to sit out and peep out how he was going to take care of it. See, we trying to focus on how we going to get it done, and God said, I already got our angel assigned to your issue. I already got my spirit that went ahead and assigned to your issue. So he runs up and says, take your sandals off. You standing on holy ground. And what some of us need to recognize, that our situations were developed, designed, and purpose-built by God. See, we think everything is the devil, but no, some of this is literally God. They go into the land. And see, Joshua know how to win battles. He was just fighting battles back a couple chapters ago. He know how to fight. But God said, I need to prove to my people how dope I am. I don't want y'all fighting. Here's what I need y'all to do. Walk around the wall 6 times, one time a day for 6 days. Cool. Day 7, walk around 7 times, worshiping and singing. Y'all know how stupid you look. To walk, they looking down off the wall. It's like me standing on top of this building and seeing y'all walking around this building. I'm looking down like, let me just throw a brick at her head. Like, it's unsafe. It doesn't make no sense to do that. But what God wants to do in y'all life, the strategies he wants to use will not make sense. It got to make what? Miracles. It's not supposed to make sense to you. It's not supposed to matter. Your understanding is not big enough. We seen the woman that God say this morning, how he dealt with Jehoshaphat. Nobody would have ever think to walk up to battle undermanned singing. But we see we uses this praise strategy quite a bit. We see he said they're walking around the wall praising. And what happens on the seventh time they loop it on the seventh day, everybody screams a shout of praise and the walls come falling down. The Bible says wasn't even a brick on top of the brick. It fell flat. Your problem gonna fall flat. You're not even gonna have to climb over, you gotta just walk right in. See, this is the problem. We're so busy trying to get it done our way. Trying to get the marriage fixed our way. Trying to get everything fixed, trying to get the kids our way. When all he said, all you gotta do is just praise me and pray. See, we say we want him. We say we want him, but then when he presents himself in our life, we start complaining. Have you ever, y'all watch Love and Hip Hop? And y'all used to fight in high school? Get the oil out. Yeah, me. I used to poo. I used to poo. You know, these girls are like, like y'all used to fight. Y'all seen them fight? Hey, I need some help. Come here, Jordan. Hey, come here, Brandon. Oh, God, I can call him. Okay, Brandon. Come here. Yeah, come here. So, y'all remember them fights in high school? Stand there for a minute, Brandon. Come here, Anthony. Stand there for a minute. Anthony. Yeah, man. Stay here for a minute. See, I know people used to be in fights. Y'all remember high school, they used to do this. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Nah, bro. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? What's up, bro? And then when everybody come to break it up, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Hey, bro, what's good, though, bro? Hey, bro? Hey, nah, bro. Hey, bro, hey, what's good, bro? Hey, bro. Hey, y'all remember that stuff? They turned, after they got restricted, all of a sudden it was a turn-up mode. After they got restricted, after they couldn't actually do anything about it, all of a sudden, what you say? Say it again. All of a sudden, they got this energy to fight. And what happened, thank y'all, what really was, that was fake. See, when they was in the face of their problem, it wasn't about they didn't do nothing. They could have did something. But they waited until space presented itself. Obstacles presented itself. And all of a sudden, they was full of rah-rah. All of a sudden, you trying to swing because you know you're going to miss. But ain't that how we are in our faith? Oh, y'all gonna get quiet now. Y'all was cool a minute ago. Ain't that how we are in our faith? See, when the opportunity presents itself to fight with our faith, we see it's not faith if we can see it. It's the substance, y'all heard the man of God this morning, of things hoped for. So if our hope is in Christ, this very substance, we can't see it. See, it has to be unseeable. If I see it, it's not faith. If somebody tells me I'm about to bring you something, and I can see it on the FaceTime, it's not faith. I don't have to believe. I don't have no hope. My eyes has confirmed it. He says it's the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of what? Not seen. So if you can see it, it does not take faith. So let me get real. Can I break it down for you? Do I mind? Okay. So see, some of y'all are so happy in here we don't pass collection plates. Happy as mud. Yes. I don't have to display no faith. I can walk fast like I forgot, didn't see it. But see, Jordan get a tithe from you every time some 1s or 5s or 13s or 12s or 11s come out. You don't miss those dates. Are we quiet now? Yeezy, you know all the Yeezy schedule for the year. Did that hit? Oh, I'm coming for everybody today. You know everything. You know everything about that. Oh, so the last weave extension sew-in chick, you got her number on down. See, we won't honor God with the money because I don't, the church is just, I don't really, but the sew-in lady, every 2 weeks you get paid. She know you coming. She can cock on you because she know. Don't do it, but I got to come for us because if I want us to grow, I got to be a bill. We got faith until it's time to go forget that daddy that hurt us. But he just did that to me and he don't call me, I ain't going to call him. But I thought you had faith. I thought you was trusting God. We got faith until pastor discipline us. Oh, I'm for the Lord. Until pastor got to check you. And now it's like, well, the Lord told me I need to just go move to North Carolina. Oh, you did now? Or was our faith ever real in the first place? Because when the opportunity moves out of his way to operate and operate in faith, then we're crying and complaining instead of operating in faith. Oh, I love God. He's here for me. But then when you pass the homeless guy and you got the $5 in orange, but I ain't got no change, give him the 5. Oh, I'm not done. We say we got faith, and we waiting on God to send our wife, but we ain't stopped smashing no girl. See, if I don't make it personal, bro, y'all won't get it, bro. Like, we say, I got faith. I'm waiting on Jesus. We make a dope post about it. 89 likes. Ooh, people shared it and everything. I talk about God. They like me. But as soon as you get off of there, you just cuss out the girl in the drive-thru. Well, she messed my coke up, but she always do. I'm tired of attitudes. Well, boo, who you say you belong to? See, we always want to base what we do off of what everybody else do, but who do you belong to? How many times we got kids, your kids came home like, well, they did it to me. What did I tell you? Okay, see, y'all want to talk to me, and I'm excited today. I want to preach, and y'all just like, oh, God. Okay, let me move on, because y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that. But real faith will bust a move. When it's hard, when it's long, when the night is hard. But see, this is the thing. We don't really want God. We want a version of him that's easy to swallow. But when it gets hard, it's like my daughter. When we give her the fruity medicine, she's like, ah. Well, her mama got this one medicine. She be like, no! Oh! And to take off running through the house. I'm like, take the medicine, no! So this is what she did the other day. I said, eat it. She said, mm-mm. I said, eat it. She said, eat it. Eat it. If you don't put that in your mouth, and that's what we do. God is saying, faith me. Pray. Wait. We like, I don't want to do that. Okay, I just thank you, Jesus, for the food. No, for food? I prayed today. Could you pray for your food? Get in my word. Spend time with me. While I read my scripture, my verse of the day, and I'm following this Bible plan, and I found me a Bible plan when the daily things are like one paragraph. And I'm in my word. And then we'll post on Facebook or social media like, I'm in my word and the Lord showing me things. You've been reading for 3 minutes. Some of you got big faith talk, but no big faith walk. And see, faith without works is what? So a lot of our faith is what? Be real. See, this is the only way we're going to grow. We got big faith till it's time to do something. Till it's time to have some works behind it. Till it's time to actually move. Yeah, okay. Full of faith till it's time to start that business. It's like, why the paperwork didn't come out and... All right, let me move on. So I know many of you saying, okay, well, Pastor, that's not my problem. See, we got two sides. We got people who faith is fake, and then people who faith is actually real, but something's happening. Their faith is their weight. See, some of our faith is our weight. Some of us have no problem honoring God. We love him. We will drop everything, stop and roll. But then when he say keep rolling, okay, that's a year. Okay, 2 years. Okay, Lord, it's been purity for 3 years now. Woo! 3 years now. When I committed this to you, I was cool for 3 months. I was going to give you a year and a half, but you encroaching on my faith boundary here. You know I can text Jimmy right now. Anoint her with the oil. Get the oil. No, but seriously, some of our faith is in our weight. We have faith, dumb faith, for a period. When God presses us, and it starts to get outside of what we thought the frame of when he was going to show up, because now I'm 35, 36, and that's past my wait period to have my child. See, I was cool from 30 to 33 trusting you, but now I'm 35, 36, and I need a baby now. This is what some of our faith look like. Hurt, injured, jacked up, wrapped up. We've been going. No, but serious. Some of y'all faith, y'all still trying to operate in the kitchen. Y'all still trying to cook. So, Pastor Jordan had an accident in the kitchen. A pressure cooker blew up on him, and some very hot greens got all over his body. They was all over his body. They burnt him really bad. All on his head and everywhere. You know now about they're going to walk past you like looking at your head like. No, but serious. Y'all know I got to throw a cap in there. He had an accident in the kitchen. And that could have kept him out of the kitchen. See, y'all so busy laughing. Y'all not seeing this. It could have kept him. It could have took his faith and kept him out of the kitchen. But he's wrapped up, bandaged up, still in the kitchen. See, that's some of our faith. We've been pressing, we've been waiting, and we still come to church. Everybody that said you this and you that, you giving your money to the people and you still doing it. Somebody said you stupid, you waiting on him, girl, you should have been, you still in there. Somebody say you silly, you say watching her get a man, she get a man, she in the club, she got married. Why am I sitting in church trusting God? But you still trusting God. God said today, and this got to be the hard part, I got to come for us because I'm in this boat with y'all. He said you still need to move in faith, no matter what it looks like. And you need to have immobile faith and moving no matter how long I put you in it. And he keep reminding me of something. I am a God. Humble yourself, little boy. At the end of the day, I can move when I want, how I want, to who I want to move to. So I don't care if you keep throwing my word in my face. It's my word, and I'm faithful to it. But let me humble you first. I can do what I want to do. So some of us think because we've been holy, he owes us something. He owes us nothing. The Bible says in Romans 12:1, present your bodies a living sacrifice. That is our reasonable service. He said, that just makes sense. You don't get a cookie for doing what you're supposed to do. He said, now, when you receive that, then I may bless you. See, when God he wants to raise mature believers, not Santa Claus believers. He's not Santa Christ. I'm going to be good, be nice, not naughty, bless me. And we got this relationship where it's quid pro quo. I worship you, I faith you, I wait, you bless me. He don't want this. He said, I want joint heirs. So to be a joint heir, you have to joint suffer. He says, after you suffer for a little while. So he don't want to make, come on. He doesn't want babies. Your baby, you give him milk, bye-bye, they come back and cry till you give him more. I ain't got no kids. Cool. So my babies, all of them, they're not babies no more. They're like grown as a mug, literally. But I still have one. And when she wants something, she just screams and falls on the floor. And I start to tap her, get up. When I tell her, if you want something from me, do what? Just ask me. You don't have to do all of that. God is trying to raise up a mature believer that stops whining when he doesn't move how they want him to move. I think I need to get y'all a Bible. Because I always pull it in. See, I think I'll be up here making stuff up. It's Romans 12:1. Romans. It's going to be up here. I'm in Amplify. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Watch this. I love this. Therefore. Okay, my dad used to say, when you see therefore, you go back and see what it's there for. In chapter 11 of Hebrews, it's the hall of faith, we call it. It goes to all these people who displayed this amazing faith. So he goes in chapter 12. I ponder when I start studying, like, what happened after that? Because I've had all these types of faith. So what do I need to expect after that? So I just went to the next chapter. He said, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a cloud of witnesses, watch this in the Amplified, who by faith have been tested. Who by faith have been tested. I'm sorry, that's not what it's saying. Who by faith have testified to the truth of God's absolute faithfulness. Stripping off every unnecessary weight and the sin so which easily and cleverly entangles us. So I'm like, okay, wait. He says, so since we have this example of people who have been tested, people who testify, because see, they've been tested. See, we don't want to be tested. We just want a testimony. But we don't want the test. We just want the oni. See, they testify of his absolute faithfulness, but they was tested. I'm gonna leave that alone. He says, since we have this list of people who make it clear that your problem ain't too big for him. We've had a whole example of all these people: Rahab, the whore, the harlot, through faith. Moses, his parents, through faith. Abraham, by faith. Since we got these examples of people having impossible things, needing babies, wombs shut up, all this stuff. Since I've showed you what I'm capable of, strip off every weight of sin. I'm like, whoa, that don't make no sense. What you talking about? Strip off every sin. That ain't got nothing to do with faith. And I start to really look at that, which so easily and cleverly entangles us. So you mean to tell me that after a perfect example of faith, and since we have witnesses that's testifying to it, we just strip off every unnecessary weight and sin, which so easily, cleverly entangles us? He's saying, a lot of y'all, you got faith, but you got sin too. He says, so your faith comes to pass, get rid of sin. See, every time people think at our church, I'm for sin because I tell them there's only one way to heaven, that's to believe in Jesus Christ. And I will stand flat-footed on that. But baby girl and baby boy, to see your faith fulfilled, strip off every sin. If you want to know how to God get blessed, even though you got big, crazy faith, that faith, though, all that, I cannot talk about crazy faith and blessing without talking about crazy what? Obedience. That's why I teach y'all this. We can't talk about the crazy blessings of crazy faith until we talk about crazy obedience. He said, strip off every sin. It said it easily entangles you. Easily gets you jacked up. Let us run with endurance and active persistence the race that is set before us. The test is set before you. It's predetermined. You have to go through this. It is a race of faith. Looking away from all that will distract us, and focusing our eyes on Jesus, who is the author and perfecter of faith. And this got me. He's the author. What is an author? They write. He wrote your problem out. This season of your life was authored. I need them to learn faith. And she thinks she's gonna wait 3 years. It's gonna be 7. And he writing it out like, but if she keep the sin off and she stay patient and she don't complain, I'm a finisher too. Because I'm the author and finisher. I like New King James. He said, and the perfecter of faith. He said, this is what you in is authored by me. Watch this. Who, for the joy of accomplishing the goal, set before him endures the cross, disregarding the shame and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Watch this. Verse 3, just consider and meditate on him. So, to get our faith focused, to run the race with endurance, we just need to change our focus to him. Don't we see an example of this in the Bible? When somebody took their focus off Jesus, what did they start doing? Sinking. He says, watch this. He says, who endured from sinners such bitter hostility against himself, consider it all in comparison with your trial so that you will not grow weary or lose heart. If you don't want to grow weary, if you don't want to lose heart, remember what he did on the cross. And he said, now compare that to your little bitty problem. I got beat, slain, spit on, did abused, all for what? You. So can you not go through a couple of years for me? Can you not lock it up for a little bit for me? Can you not give your little 10% for me? Because I gave it my all for you. So you, when you get worried, you're only getting worried because you took your eyes off of me. You start thinking that your issue was bigger than mine, what I dealt with. But in comparison, let me get off of that. See, God ain't no chump. We think he's some chump, little bitty guy, chump. I told y'all Santa Christ. Like, you think do we really think he's going to let the devil beat him? Do we really think God is going to let the devil outdo him? Well, Pastor, I don't make that much. God can do a whole bunch with 2 fish and 5 loaves. See, this is our excuses. Well, Pastor, ain't no man even look my way. Stay gleaning in the field. Okay, well, Pastor, the kid's still not acting right. Stay praying and sitting on that porch waiting for him, on the porch waiting for him to come home, looking out, waiting for him. Just stay waiting. Well, Pastor, it's been forever. Get crazy and touch the hem of his garden. She waited 12 years. It's been forever, Lord. How long I gotta wait? Get crazy enough and stupid enough and dig up there and touch the hem of his garden. See, we have a great crowd of witnesses. Well, Pastor, I don't have a lot of members. How can I get the work done? Gideon sent 29,700 men home and stayed with 300 to take a whole kingdom over. He don't need numbers. See, we got these excuses, but we have a cloud of witnesses. And when we take our mind off this and we focus on our problem, we grow weary. So the question for today, and I'd like to give us a question. What have you not moved on? What has God been telling you to do and you have drug your feet? Delayed obedience is immediate disobedience. When you delay obedience, God said, I need you to go at 301, and you go at 310, disobedient. Immediate disobedience. Delayed obedience is immediate disobedience. Question number 2, you only have one, but since we have 2 types of people and 2 types of faith here, statement. Because I don't have one question for you. I just have a statement. To those who have been faithful, keep praying. It's on the way. It's on the way. He is faithful to his word. Okay, let's get into this. I ain't got no points. I got a to-do list. Let's get into Peter. See, we got an example of this. See, I thought if I could just paint the picture for you, we got an example of this. Point number 1, prepare for the test. Matthew 14, I'm in the NLT, Matthew 14, Matthew 14, verse 22, I'm going. Immediately after this, Jesus insisted that his disciples get back into the boat and cross to the other side of the lake while he sent the people home. After sending them home, he went up into the hills by himself to what? Night fell while he was there alone. It's a lot to unpack here. Immediately after this, after what? Well, let's go see what happened. Immediately after this, what happens? So, if you go back, right before this, Jesus feeds the 5,000. Now, something's weird about this story. Remember we just talked about the test and all? Okay. Something's weird about this story. In verse 16, right before our verse of 22, he says, verse 15, he says, the evening, the disciples came to him and said, it's not in there, so don't try to, y'all probably back there like, where is it in there? It's not in there. Verse 15, that evening, the disciples came to him and said, this is a remote place. It's already getting late. Send the crowds away so that so they can go to the village and buy some food for themselves. Watch what he's saying in verse 16. But Jesus said, that isn't necessary. You feed them. Test. Here go the test. They've been watching him preach. They've been watching him teach. And he says, they like here, okay, it's all these people out here, 5,000 men, not including women and children. So the Jewish families was big. So let's just go an average of 4, 2 kids and a wife. That's 20,000 people. He says, y'all feed them. I looked at him like, hey, are you tired and exhausted? You just talking outside your neck? Because that's how they looked at him. They say in verse 17, but we only have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, they answered. He said, bring them here. See, we got to learn how to bring our issues to God, bring our troubles to God, and stop complaining. He said, bring it to me. See, we bring it to Facebook, our homegirls, everybody else. We bring it to Ciroc, like we bring it to everybody else. We take it to Hennessy. We take it to the blunt. He said, bring it to me. He broke the bread up, and what did he do? He gave it back to them, and they took it and divided it. It multiplied in their hands. So now we back to our verse. Immediately after this, after they've just seen the glory of God, the supernatural move of God, they just experienced provision, Jesus insisted. He made them, the New Testament, New King James Version say, he made them. That says they didn't want to leave him. Hey, y'all go, nah, we stay with you. Y'all get in that boat. He made them. They did not want to leave his side. So you mean to tell me it's going to be a season in your life where he says, get away from me. I need to test you. Oh, see, we don't like this part. We want to stay close to him. See, a lot of us, I used to pray and fast. I would fast for a week, number pineapple and watermelon and water, and they would hurt. And God would always talk to me. God was used to speak to me so clearly. And something happened. He said for a season, get away from me. And I'll pray like, I ain't heard nothing. Let me fast again. Okay. No. What happened when Jesus went in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights? He got what? What did he do? He used the word of God. It's going to be a season of your life when he stopped speaking as much. He stopped talking. And he says, you almost there, but I'm not talking. I just want to see if you can use my word. See, Jesus had to go out and say, what thus saith the Lord. He said, get away from me. Get in the boat. Now watch this. Jesus insisted that his disciples. Now stop there for a minute. Some of us that think we're disciples. No, we're not. We're simply just believers. A believer, somebody who put their faith in Jesus Christ for their sins, but they do not change their lifestyle to match the declaration. When you disciple, y'all remember in the Bible, the man came to Jesus and said, well, I need to go to be in heaven. He said, do this, keep the laws. He knew what the man was after. I can't get into that. But he says, I have done all these things. He said, okay, now, sell all your goods and come and be my disciple and follow me. The Bible says he walked away sad because he had many possessions. Give me that thing you don't want to give up. See, it's going to come a test in our life where God asks for that thing you don't want to give up. It's going to be a test. So if we call ourselves disciples, our lives are making Jesus Lord. He's owner of our lives. We're walking, talking, looking, smelling like a Christian. Coming in, not just, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall know, but actually saying, are you okay? Let me pray with you, sister. Let's fast. Oh, you stepped in my shoe. I don't care if these new joints. I don't care. You can have them. Oh, pastor, you need me to do something. The Lord, I'm on it. Like a disciple of Christ who they take the word of God and infuse it as a lifestyle. He's talking to them. So I'm talking to y'all. Because people lay claim to scripture that they can't lay claim to because you're not a, sorry, but y'all get out and try to walk on water and just drown. Never mind, I'm getting ahead of him. He told him, let's go across. As he went to pray. Passed the test. The test is how you are blessed. You skip the test, there's no bless. The test is how you are literally blessed. We cannot pass the season of tests. Point 2. Be assured your issue is not big enough for God. Let's get into this, verse 24. Meanwhile, the disciples were in trouble far away from the land, for a strong wind had risen, and they were fighting heavy waves. About 3 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came toward them walking on water. He knew it was going to be a storm. He went up to pray for him. The Bible don't say he went up to pray for him, but I bet you he was up to like, Lord, please make these knuckleheads. Kalvin, I just showed them. Please let them pass this test so I can move them on and they walk with me. I can take them deeper. But if they don't pass this test, we're going to still be on baby level. So please let them pass this test, which I understand. God wants to bless you, but what he wants to do more is go and take you deeper in him. Jesus came toward them doing what? Walking on water. What is their problem right now? Water. He came to them reminding them, I am bigger than your problem. I am walking on your problem like it's nothing. What's making you scared and fear and trip, I'm walking on. It doesn't affect me. See, what we should have read is the winds tossed them, went, and Peter said, thou seas be still, boom. They go across, and we should read Jesus walked across the whole sea and caught up with them in Capernaum or wherever they was going. That's what we should have read, but we don't read that. We read, they out there, ah! Let's see. Point 3, stop being so scary. They just seen him walking on their problem. And we always are seeing God moving and still not recognize him. When the disciples saw him walking on the water, when they seen him walking on their problem, they were terrified. Really? In their fear, they cried out, it's a ghost. It's the devil. That's the devil in my life. God sent that boss. That's not the devil. It's literally him. But Jesus spoke to them, don't be afraid. He said, take courage, I am here. How many times we read in the Bible, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Like the whole Bible, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't fear. Don't fear. Don't be afraid. Do you know who you belong to? I'm right here. Verse 28. Then Peter called to him, Lord. Big mouth Peter. I love Peter, I ain't gonna lie. Besides Paul in the Bible, I really dig Elijah and Elisha too. I mean, I like David too. Hold on. He up in the top five. Top five. Peter, bro, it's something about him. He always ready to just, to his detriment sometimes. He always ready to just, and he says, Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come walking on water. He pointed out, watch what he says. Tell me to come walking on water. He makes it clear what I want to do. I want to do the miraculous. I want to see the supernatural in my life. I don't want normal. I want you. I want to come to you walking on the thing, doing what you do. I want to be an overcomer, conqueror, just like you. The Bible says we are more than conquerors in what? Through Christ, what? Jesus. He said, I want to experience supernatural. Number point 4. I'm getting through these quick because I want to talk about something else later. Do go. And this is the part I just want to keep it. Do go. Just go. Please, for the love of God. Just go. Sometimes I got faith and I ain't moved an inch. Jesus just said, yes, come. And most of us were sitting in the boat like, you gonna stop the storm first? How you gonna say come, I don't have a savings? Huh? Start planning a wedding, I have no man. Like I don't. You said one on the way, but some of y'all should always have y'all colors. When he proposed, like, you should open your book like, I got everything, babe. I got our venue. You ain't got to do nothing but give me the check. I got our venue. You going to wear this suit color unless you want to switch it because you're the head, so I'm just getting ahead of the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? And this is where we should live at in the Lee Summit area, you know, right? And this subdivision, I think it's great for our kids we're going to raise. Y'all should have the whole thing. It said write it down and make it plain. So those who read it may. So you want to run with something, write it down, show them, like, this is your stupid pictures. Let me go. So Peter went over the side of the boat and walked on water. Walked on his problem. Watch that, toward Jesus. Now I'm going to stop here because you always see me say, I always imagine this like this. Peter, like, get out the boat, and he like. God said, that's not what he did. I was studying, he said, that is not what he did. That's not faith. You know what Peter did? He said he came towards Jesus and he was focused on Jesus. Real faith must move. Real faith don't play it safe. Week 4 of this, he didn't tiptoe out. He looked at Jesus and he said, now watch what happens. Because this is what we'll do. We'll jump out on faith. We'll be, Now watch what we do. Verse 30. But when he saw the strong wind and waves, he took his eyes off of him. He was terrified and began to sink. What's the opposite of faith? Fear. He took his eyes off of him. He did this. I like that. I like doing that. I don't know why. Then he said, he was doing this. I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you. I know he screamed. Tell me y'all wouldn't scream when y'all in the storm. It's dark. Ain't no lights out there. It's pitch black dark. And you, I would have screamed like a straight girl. He took his eyes off. He was terrified and he shouted. And he began to sing. Save me, Lord, he shouted. And this is what I love about the story. And I don't have time to go in this. At least he made it close enough to him that when he called his name, he was close enough to grab him. That tells me even when he jumped out on faith, he went and he dug and he persevered. And it was cold and the wind was hitting him, but he got close enough to where when he started to sink, all he had to do was just grab him. See, some of y'all jump out and sink the first day of faith. The first month of celibacy. The first month of tithe, you realize, dang, my pockets are way emptier. That was good enough for me. You took your eyes off of him. You stopped comparing your sacrifice to his, and you thought your problem became bigger because you changed your focus. Jesus immediately said, verse 31, Jesus immediately reached out and grabbed him. Watch what he says. Y'all can see it. You have so little faith. But you want to know what I looked at that and said, at least he has some. He still walked on water. He's the only one in the Bible that done it. He's the only, it's plenty of people who's opened the water. Elijah did it, Elisha did it, Joshua did it, Moses did it. Ain't nobody walked on water besides our God and Peter. Some of y'all, I'm here to tell you today, even if you just get close enough, even if you just start it, it may look like it's about to die, but if you just get close enough, if you just hang on long enough, God said, just get close enough to me, I'll finish it for you. See, that's our thing. He said, help my unbelief. He said, I believe, I got a little, but help the parts of me that's going to get me through the rest of this, Jesus. And so we need to get to a point that though it's been a long time, though we've been through the storm, we've been looking, and we just get close enough, and we shout out, Lord, help me. He's right there, so I got you. I seen that you've been going hard. Let me put you up out. Hallelujah. Why did you doubt me? I said, come. How dare you get scared? Now I'm looked at that like, he never doubted you. He got scared. It didn't never say he doubted you. It said he was terrified. When we take our focus off God and our problems get bigger than God, we pretty much say, you're not capable. He's able to go to, you ain't able. We start looking at our problems like, you're not going to do this. Don't act like y'all ain't never thought that. Y'all looked at y'all issue like, bro, it's been too long. You ain't going to do it. You do it for, and since we try to respect God, well, you just do it for others, just not me. When really we want it, our spirit is really saying you ain't capable. But we're trying to say, well, maybe you're just not going to do it for me because I see you. I know you can do it. It's not for me. So we try to curve it. So we really not out. So our hearts seem as if like, I know you capable. No, we really spit in his face just doubting him. Some of us, the issue is we jump out the boat and he never said. Some of y'all say, Lord, if it's you, come. He like, y'all say, all right, thank you. And go right under and be blaming God. Go right under when you jump out. He never said come. And see, that's why we got to hear the voice of God clear. Because our desires and wants. God said, that's my husband, that's my wife. Did he? Did he though? Like, just because y'all matched up good, like, did he? Just because. God said, invest in this. Did he? I'm going to leave that alone. I got other stuff to do today. I ain't got time for this. Did he, though? See, that's why I tell people, bring it to me. If y'all going to trust me as your pastor, trust me as your pastor. If you feel that God is giving you something, bring it to me. Brother Brandon, he had an issue. He talked to God. He talked to his wife. He said, let's take it to the pastor. I said, hey, from what I'm hearing, you need to go on that. So he jumped out. I'm going to keep doing this for the rest. He jumped out. And right now, him and his wife is. And what they don't know, God got way more blessings left for them in their apartment. He going to do way more. And they're going to start off their new life with their new baby, with their new family, with all this new furniture and all this new stuff because when they brought what they felt God was saying to their headship. Now, I believe with everything in me. If I said, Brandon, I don't know about that. You need to slow down and pray. He's like, but Pastor, you don't understand our living situation. Trust me. He'd have went home like, babe, Pastor said, we're just going to chill for a minute. See, this is. If y'all want to get to where God wants y'all to get, listen to the spiritual overseer. We have this thing down in culture that everybody hears from God. Everybody knows what he's saying. I've never heard God talk this much in my life. I've been in church since I can remember, and I've never heard God talk this much. God is not talking that much. He's saying the same thing to a lot of people. He's not saying a bunch of different stuff to a bunch of different people. God, my dad would always say, God got one mouth. He's not talking about a bunch of different stuff. So if 5 people hear him differently, somebody wrong or all of them wrong. That's why he has built structure. If y'all want to enter the next season where God wants to take you, we have to be able to do this. See, it takes faith to listen to what your headship say and humble yourself. It takes faith to join a church that's still 40, 50 people deep. See, a lot of us will hang around, and watch when it blow up how many people come flooding in. People who ain't never been here, been online for a full year and a half, all of a sudden, it takes faith to come in and help build it, to commit to it when faith is active. 11 other disciples sat in the boat and did nothing and watched. And like, well, let's see what Peter do. And I bet you them 11 disciples were salty. Like, he get to walk on water. He think he tight. Peter, the favorite one. Eyes in his mouth. Don't think it wasn't happening. So when you start your faith journey, they're going to have everything to say about you. And it's funny because most of them the disciples weren't crazy. They knew what was in Peter. They knew he was an assertive one. They knew he was the one that Jesus leaned on the most. So they knew his anointing. They knew his calling. Actually, he said Peter let down your nets, and some of them that became disciples got piggyback on what he told Peter first. They knew what he was, and some of them are going to hate just because they know that God's going to bless you. They know that God's hand is on you, so they're going to have everything to say. It's part of the test because they could have got out the boat right with Peter. He did not say, Peter, come. He said, come. Everybody could say, we riding, let's go. But they said back like, I'm safer in the boat. See, some of us, we have to leave our safe place. It's safe in the boat. The boat is safe, even though we're dying in the boat. Even though the water is coming in, it's safe to us. It's the familiar. Some of us got to get out of the familiar. Some of us got to come to church every Sunday. We haven't did that in years. God is calling us to something, get uncomfortable. We ain't missed the Chiefs game since the Chiefs been Chiefs. But God is saying you need to do something different. Leave what you're used to. Leave your bank accounts. I know you used to leave the familiar. Get out of the boat. Leave us, churches, pastors, leave us familiar to you. As I close, I want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all a depiction of something. And as God gave me this revelation this week, I said, I want to walk us through this. So, how many women here have been pregnant before? No, I'm sorry. How many people here women here got children? So y'all gonna understand this, cool. Step one of your blessing, celebration. You find out, I look happy, we look happy. We're celebrating. Pregnancy, put the picture on Facebook. Hey, the blessing is on the way. Celebrating, cheesing, taking funny pictures, bums, like doing all this at the baby showers, gender reveals, presents. We shopping for bassinets and painting walls and making signs of baby names and all this stuff. Kissing bellies. Like it's what happens in our faith walk. We get a revelation from God that something's coming in our life. And we celebrating. It's all joy. Feel the joy. She's in the picture at work. It's looking beautiful. Like just in the pictures, it's just looking good. We're celebrating. And something happens in the third trimester. Something changes. Go to 2. Something changes. When it's time for delivery, it ain't cute no more. The hair ain't wrapped in braids. We ain't got the poof. It ain't cool no more. Does she look happy? It's something about birth, when God is birthing something in your life. When he's birthing something out of you. See, I'm in there capping, but she's not happy. See, she's in a place where I got to get what was once a joyful, what was a word in my life. What once was blessing me, what I was celebrating. Now I'm not, don't celebrate with me. Get out my face. Does she look like she, okay, go to 3. But then, after the season of pain and birth, and the God has pushed the blessing of faith out of your life, joy comes. It's a joy season where the thing that God told you he was going to give you, when the land, when the building, when the members, when the people, when the resources, and it's, oh, God did it! We're flipping through the church. People are coming. People are being blessed. People are being healed. People are being freed. God's glory is going forth. It's people holding the blessing that didn't do nothing for it. He never carried a baby a day in his life. I didn't carry nothing. Cameron didn't carry nothing. Danielle and Niece, they didn't carry it. They didn't do nothing. But they're part of what she went through. Some of y'all, God wants you to stay here and be in this for your family and your cousins and your sisters and your coworkers and your mamas now. They need to carry what you birthed. They need to benefit from the blessing that you had to go in pain and labor through. It's a season of joy. Let me see. Let me show me another one. Keep going. Just look at that. Just holding the blessing up. Hallelujah. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, go to 4. I'm chilling with the blessing. Then it's another season. The blessing becomes exhausting. Reality sets in like, hold up. I got what I asked for. Oh, yeah, women that want a husband so bad, y'all going to be in my office and you're talking about, oh, you want me to cook every night. He told me I need to be quiet in my argument. He ain't my daddy. I thought you wanted a husband because did you not read when it said submit? When it says submit, so when he said, hey, wife, I need you to shut it down. You be like, yes, sir, I love you, husband, and I'm going to submit to your authority. But, boy, you better be glad I'm going to change a woman. Because the old me, sir, the old me, what y'all be doing? The old me. But we see the blessing is all in stuff, tearing stuff up, just tearing the house up. The blessing actually reminds you, see, this is why God needs to test you. If I just give it to you, she kicked up the blessing, just turned the house apart. I'm like, I'm at work. Daddy, you didn't do this before I got on the conference call. At the table, mad. You realize the blessing is actually some work. See, blessing boo-booed all up the arm. Boo-boo everywhere. Blessing just turn up. Now, we got another season that happens. Go 4. Let me go to 5. Can't even watch TV. It's another season. Because now you realize because of the test, you've built the strength. Now you know how to go to the source and you're not dependent on the resource. Now a season comes back in with your blessing. See, have y'all noticed something? There's been a lot of pictures post-issue. Post-pregnancy, it's been a lot. See, Sarah, though she had to wait 25 years, she's the only woman in the Bible where it records her age. The only woman in the Bible where their age is recorded is Sarah. She waited for her baby, for her blessing, for her promise. 25 years. She had her baby when she was what? 90 years old. She died at 125. The Bible wanted to make sure, though she waited 125 years, she had how many years with her baby? 35 years. God said, you think I'm going to let your wait period outdo? I'm not going to give you time to. She weaned her baby, raised him to be a man. The boy was 35. She's seen him go forth. The blessing starts to bring joy. If it wasn't for the test, so you can build your strength, you wouldn't. Peter denied Jesus. On Wednesdays, we've been studying Acts. And we see 3 times in the first 4 chapters, he stood up with great boldness and called them some murdering sinners. He said, because I've been tested, I can stand in here with boldness ready to die. See, some of y'all, if God don't put us through a season of waiting, we will never appreciate the blessing. We will mess up the blessing. We will fumble the bag and then go beg for another bag. But if he leaves us broke enough for long enough, when the bag come in, no, boo-boo, tithe, save, let me have some fun with this piece. I'm going to bless with this piece. Let me leave your church small long enough so y'all really learn how to love each other. So y'all really get this. Before it's 3, 4, 5, 600, 700 people, and people have time to spread out and fake love. 2 years ago, God gave me a vision for this church. The beginning of 2019 into 2018, he said, I want you to start e-church. And I did it. We started online. I didn't know in 2019, why do you want me to start internet ministry? That's stupid. I don't know y'all, but I'll be talking to God for real. He know it. He see my heart anyway. I might as well just, no, Lord, thou art, he like, I see your heart. You mad at me right now. Like, just talk to me real. Don't y'all hate when people come at y'all faking it? Like, I know I read your text. I see what you want. Why are you trying to be cool? Like, we good right now. I'd rather you just be 100 with me. So I'm like, Lord, I'm not feeling you today. I'm still serve you, but I'm not really in the mood for you or your promises, like, or any of your stuff today. But he said, start this church. I'm like, internet church, I'm going to get clowned. Like, bad. What I didn't know is COVID was coming in 2020. So when we started, see, if I just would trusted him, when we started it, it was prom. Everybody was online. We started the ministry. Well, I got word in September 2019, July 2019, God had made his final step. This is what he wanted me to do. So I sat on it for months. I was not trying to do this. I seen what this did to my father. He missed almost every game. And I was actually cold in high school. I'm trash now, but in high school I was like a 19 and 10, like dunking on people, had the field house of Southeast cracking. He didn't come to many of those because he had to go with new ministry. And I never was mad at him for it. I just knew, like, my dad is out saving souls. Like, that's better to do that than be here. And I knew that was something great. I marred it. I thank God for never having a bitterness for it. I marred it. I had my brother there. He was cheering me on. He was the one cussing out the refs for me. And they almost kicked him out the game. He's like, that's my brother, bro. That was a foul. Hey, they're like, hey, sorry. If y'all don't get this boy off the bench, like, we went. I sat on it for months. Eventually, I knew I was going to do it. I accepted it in my heart. I hadn't moved on faith yet, but I accepted it in my heart. Give me that picture. And we went to Transformation Church. I invited them down. Me and my wife would always go down there, and I invited the staff. At that time, they were just families and friends to go with me. And they did week 4. Remember what it was Way Faith. And he preached on getting out of the boat. See, God had told me to invite them down there that week. I knew what I was about to tell them. They didn't know. But God had prepared a message before me. And Pastor Ty said something I hadn't heard before. He said, he never said, Peter, come. He just said, come. Everybody could have got out the boat to enjoy the blessing. And when I went, we all went to Brahms. I was so nervous, y'all ain't gonna lie, but I tried to show strength. I tried to show strength. And before we left Transformation Church, they didn't even know they kind of knew I was up to somebody like, let's take this picture. Because this is what we started with. And I said, let's put this in the history books. And we went to Brown. I said, this is what God showed me. Y'all, we need to start an online ministry. We need to bring back what my dad did. The 501c is 3 years standing. We're going to bring it back. We're going to redo the board. We're going to call all the board. We're going to get it voted out. We're going to do it all right. God is going to bless us. He's going to make it big. God, he showed me this is going to be big. We're going to do everything right, everything according to the business. Everything needs to be done right. And we need to do it in decency and order and what his word says. Now this is our staff. We've grown substantially. So I want you to leave this picture up here. Leave that picture there. As we move and keep moving in faith, I get it. I understand. It's rough. But y'all, worst way is in the delivery room. It's people are in the delivery room. I know it's been years. Literally years. Carrying vision, pushing vision, being faithful, generosity. We now right at $50,000 this church has sold and given away in the last year, the last 15 months. We have lived out generosity. And I was looking at the books the other day, and we have had 8 faithful tithers from the beginning. That's it. 8. We've had people jump in and out, in and out, in and out, but people just come and go. We've experienced a lot of come and go. We've had 8 faithful people nonstop, and we've been able to give away all right at $50,000. We started in the living room, worshiping up in my house, tearing my wood floors up. I was like, well, Lord, you want me to seed the house? I'm going to seed the house. You gave it to me anyway. Might as well just let people tear my bathroom toilets up. Literally, they was in there blowing my bathroom up. Just like making a home in my restroom. I'm like, y'all couldn't just go downstairs, upstairs, like hallway just stinking. I'm like, bro, who did that? Like, just nasty. Started in the living room. God already gave me vision for this land. December 26, 2020, he gave me vision. We didn't have a church service until February 28th in our living room. God gave me vision. I'm like, why are you showing me this? This is way bigger than what we're capable of. What a stupid thing to say. I took my eyes, just that quick, off of him and started looking at our bank account. Well, Lord, we only have a handful of people that give. I mean, we got like $3,000 in the bank. We've been faithful with what we got. We can't. I mean, how we gonna buy? I was in faith. I came and called the man. Like, how much I want for it? 1.1 million, 1.1 million? Cool. I started praying. Like, God, you the one told me to, I don't know. It's your church. It's your stuff. It ain't my church. So if you tell me to do this, I might as well get. No, let me get my back here. I might as well. I might as well live a life where I try him in faith instead of stay safe in the boat. He said, come. So Peter was walking on his word. Peter didn't come on Peter's will. Peter came because the word said, the living word said, come. So if God say, I want you to have this and build my kingdom here and win the city, the souls for the city, collaborate and partner with as many people as you can in the city to win souls and change this stigma about church we have. We made church boring. We made it rotten. We put structures and stuff in church that is not biblical, and people don't even like church no more. I don't have no 3-piece suit. I got a hoodie on. It's a vest. Who said that we need to be up here in suits? Actually, the Pharisees, Sadducees, and religious rulers walk around with their robes on. Jesus, I guarantee you, Jesus walked around with some Walmart jeans on. In our day, some Walmart jeans on, some flip-flops, some Payless flip-flops, and a T-shirt. He purposely displayed himself in humility. I don't know why we get up there with the gold ring, the big gold chain, the pinky, the earrings. I'm like, bro, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying. We shouldn't be a pastor because we look like one. We should be a pastor because we live like one. We were out to eat yesterday, me and my wife, and there was a couple of obvious churchmen that was in their suits, gold, like, and I said I had a hoodie on. Y'all know how I dress, sweats, some bronze. And I said, babe, if all these people here, they would ask who the preachers or pastors in here, who you think they'll say? It should be by how we act, not by what we look like. We started this ministry in faith, and we're still moving and living literally on faith. I'm gonna be real transparent right now. And I'm not saying this because I want y'all money, bro. Listen, bro. I'd rather y'all keep y'all money and just come and worship and be free. I'd rather y'all never hurdle the money thing and don't ever tithe, but just come get God in your life and see him operate in your life, see him changing your situation. Be free to come to a church where you feel comfortable in his love and you can just have a good time and bring your friends and y'all enjoy the presence of God and you keep your dollars. I'd rather you do that. This is not a money talk. But what we got in our bank, Danny? It's funny, ain't it? I think we're gonna have like $900 left after the cash and stuff clear. About $900. We was banking for a minute. God had us rolling for a minute, but then what we did was we literally gave it away, practically. We seeded it. We did a concert where everybody said it was free. Nobody wanted to charge it. We just sold it into everybody anyway. We ain't got no money. We ain't got nothing. We got faith. We got faith that when he said come, we. And we doing this. See, we at a point we ain't even laughing no more. First we was out here like, it's fun, we honoring God. Now I need you. Oh, it's getting hard. I'm walking on water, but it's cold. The waves are hitting my feet. The waves did not stop. You do not read the storm stops. The storm did not stop until Jesus got in the boat. He let him walk on his problem. He didn't stop the issue. He let him walk on the issue. He didn't stop the cancer. He let him live another 40 years healthy with it. He didn't. Sometimes God wants to get in it with you. Ask the 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He didn't stop them from going into the fire. He just showed up in the fire with them. It makes it a whole bunch doper when he just, instead of pulling you out, he just get in it with you. And now where's ways? And as I look at this camera and I look at everybody, we just moving in faith, knowing that God's about to move, knowing that God's going, his promises to stand, knowing that we receive his word and he said he would not come back void, knowing that I am his and he is mine. And we just, we don't know what it's going to be. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know how we're going to make it, but I know we love you. I know you told us to come. I know our faith on you. I know we done pulled the sin out of our life and we live in holy, so I know we ain't afraid to scream Jesus in the culture that hates him. We're not afraid to be free and remove the traditions and just walk in the fact that God said, be free in me. Be free in me.